Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Gabriela. I make videos about astrology, fragrance, self-care, mental health, beauty. I do vlogs and basically whatever else I feel like talking about. So thanks for stopping by. If that sounds like your jam, please stick around and subscribe. Today we're going to continue my Venus sign series where we talk a little bit about love, dating, love languages, the types that the Venus signs might be into, all things to do with Venus. And if you want to vote on what Venus signs come next, because I'm not really going in any order, please follow me on Instagram. I am only taking votes and recommendations on Instagram. I post in my stories and we do a little poll, and that's how I know which sign to film next. So you can comment down below, but I'm not gonna be seeing it. So definitely follow me on Instagram if you wanna give your input into what comes next. So the one that you guys voted for on Instagram most recently was Venus in Virgo. So that's what we're gonna do today. And as usual, I have my little notes here. I just kind of wrote stream of consciousness style. So we're just gonna dive into it. Venus in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. And technically the placement of Venus in Virgo is Venus is in fall. So in astrology, different placements are exalted, aka like, woo, that's a good placement. And then in fall, which is basically just to say it is considered more of a challenging placement. My Mars is in Cancer and it's in fall, so don't worry, you'll survive. The first thing I wrote down about Venus in Virgo is they will show you. And it reminds me of these memes and these kind of little posts I've been seeing on social media lately that say, you know, don't just look at a person's words. Don't just pay attention to what they say they feel about you or what they say they're gonna do for you. Look at what they do, and what they do will tell you how they feel about you. And oh my goodness, if that isn't right about Venus and Virgo, that is what it is. And I wore my white shirt today because we kind of joke on my channel that a white shirt is so Virgo. I'm a Virgo rising and Mercury, so I have a pretty heavy Virgo influence. And yeah, they're very French chic style. In fact, a lot of people dress according to their Venus sign because Venus is that romantic, feminine, Aphrodite aesthetics planet. It is all about what looks beautiful and gives us pleasure, and it's art and style and fashion and so much more than just romantic love. And so Virgo gives me that French, effortless, chic, but polished style. And it also extends into their sort of attitude about things. You might hear that Venus and Virgo are very picky when it comes to choosing their partners. And I would more say selective and intentional. I think it's very much the stereotype that we have about French people and French culture that they're snobs. But to really put that into more of a perspective when it comes to Virgo vibes, it's snob in the sense of not they have their nose in the air. More of when people say, I'm a coffee snob, I'm a skincare snob. They're really particular about what they use, what they, you know, purchase, how they spend their money, and they know what they like and they go after what they like, and everything else they don't really look at twice. And I respect Virgo Venuses for that, because it prevents you from wasting other people's time. When you know what you want and you do have a checklist, usually you can find what you're looking for a lot quicker. It's like going into a thrift store with, you know, not knowing what you want. If you have a list of things that you're looking for your wardrobe, you can kind of find things pretty quickly. You know, in movies and stuff, it's women are always made fun of for having a checklist. It reminds me of the movie The Ugly Truth. She's kind of pinned as this like super anal, obsessive woman, and I suppose her character is, but she shows up to a date and she says something like, well, you have 9 out of 10 attributes on my must-have checklist. And he's like freaked out by it. And of course, that's not something you might want to say. But I know a lot of therapists and professionals who recommend writing down a checklist of what you look for in an ideal partner. Your needs and your wants. Things that are, you know, non-negotiable and things that would be nice. I've done it. I think it's great. And I think for Virgo Venuses, it's important because although they can be very selective, and when they're really healthy, they know what they want and they know what they deserve. If they're not that evolved, it can be a struggle for them to not take on partners who are projects. They can become sort of parents or mentors to their partners, and I feel like wires get crossed and the relationship becomes like what is this? Because Virgo is the helper. Virgo is the sign of the helper. They want to see others grow. They see the potential in other people and they want to help them reach it through concrete plans, Not like a Venus in Leo that might really hype you up with words and tell you how gorgeous and sexy you are and powerful you are. A Venus in Virgo is going to help you recognize your strengths by pushing you to just do it. Let's create a plan. Let's like 5 steps to get you to be able to open your own bookshop. Come on, we got this. Or yeah, you want to start your own YouTube channel? Well, let me help you and I'll figure out how to roll it out over 6 months for you. Like, they really, really want to help you out. But when it comes to love and relationships, I think that's a big struggle for Venus and Virgo, is that they can take on people that are projects, or they take on people where they say, all right, he or she, they're not really exactly where I would want them to be, but I see that potential and I think we can do a couple tweaks and they will be perfect. And unfortunately, people are not like cars. You know, you can't tweak little things and soup them up in that way. And actually that's quite a codependent thing to do, is to try and change people. I live my life now with the expectation that people come to me fully assembled, whatever that means to me. So that basically means they need to have what's on my needs list. They need to have that. I don't make excuses for red flags and things anymore. And I find that Venus and Virgo people can do that. They can make excuses. They can say, well, I know I had it on my list that somebody financially stable was really important to me, you know, having their finances in order, but this person isn't really good with their money and they told me they don't believe in saving and they'll never save money. But you know what? Maybe I'm a snob for wanting someone financially stable, so it's fine, whatever. I know I said I wanted someone with a good family relationship, but and this guy kind of raised his voice at his mom the other day and kind of called her stupid, but I'll just pretend I didn't hear that. You know, we all have our flaws. Virgos can actually be really forgiving, even though they can be critical and they notice every little thing. They can really make a lot of kind of like concessions for people. Or I find that the taking people on as projects thing can feel really fulfilling in the beginning, because again, Virgos love helping others and helping others reach their potential. But I would say it creates for a strange, confusing relationship dynamic. If you can, I can see a Virgo, if they're more experienced in their career and their partner is a little, you know, trying to make it in a similar career field, I can see a sort of healthy relationship, you know, helping each other out, maybe even a sort of mentor type relationship. But when it comes to, I need to help raise you, or I need to reteach you how to be a good partner, or I need to, like, I am your sole source of motivation. It's kind of that parent that does all the homework for their kid. We all knew that one kid in class where they had great projects, but it's like, that's because your mom does all of your projects for you. So Virgo can become that, because I mean, if you just think of Virgo energy, everyone jokes, I know this, Virgo is like the person that hates doing group projects because they'll just do all the work anyway. They're like, I don't trust any of you to do it right, I'll just do it. So going with that, Virgos are also huge givers. They give. And unlike Venus and Leo, which we recently talked about, who really needs a lot of applause to keep them going, they really need a lot of fuel in the tank. They're super generous, but they definitely need that appreciation, because Leo is like, you know, the performer, the star. Venus and Virgo can run on a lot less. They can run on breadcrumbs, and they're not comfortable often asking for anything more. I mean, it's uncomfortable for anyone to say like, hey, could you say thank you to me more? That's why I say date people that come fully assembled, because date someone who knows to say thank you, who shows their gratitude openly, that you don't have to teach to do that. It's a lot easier. But yeah, Venus and Virgo especially will give so much and do so much for their partners. And then, you know, maybe not expect that much in return, because they don't need a ton of applause to run. But it doesn't mean that it's not important to do that, and it's not important to show them what they mean to you, because otherwise they can get stuck in these scenarios where they are giving 99%. And as long as the other person is giving 1, it's like, okay, all right, they're in this with me. And it's like, no, dude, I hate seeing sweet Venus and Virgos getting shortchanged. You deserve someone who is the, you know, if Venus and Virgo to me, no matter how you identify, is Prince Charming, okay? You deserve your Cinderella. They can kind of be in these one-sided dynamics and not really notice. As far as their love languages go, I would say it's totally predictable. Acts of service, absolutely. And again, in the sense that a Venus and Virgo will never really ask for your help or ask like anything of you. They're already uncomfortable with that. You doing acts of service for them, big deal. try to be a little intuitive, try to anticipate what they might need, because they're not gonna ask you for it. They might have a completely stressful day and they're gonna act like they're just fine and I got it under control. But if you say, you know what, when's your lunch break today? Because let me just swing by and bring you your favorite lunch, and how about I eat with you? How about that? Or when you get off work, let me take you out. Let's decompress, let's get a drink. Or even like in friendships, hey, I know on Saturdays it's your big cleaning day. Would you wanna like order some pizza and I'll help you clean and we can dance around to music? Or even just going over to their house and like cleaning their dishes, or at least cleaning yours when they're treating you, taking out the garbage. A small act of service from you. I mean, it doesn't have to be this huge thing. You don't have to throw them a parade, but that's gonna feel really good to them because they won't ask for it again. That also goes into the fact that words of affirmation may not be their strong suit, and it might mean a little less than action with them. So yeah, if you're dating a Venus in Virgo and maybe they haven't told you enough that you're beautiful or how attractive they find you, look at their actions, and then maybe eventually you can express that you need verbal stuff, but don't write them off because it could be their nature. Another thing, Virgo being an earth sign, I would definitely say physical touch is a big one. However, Virgo is so polite and so cognizant of others' comfort levels that if a Virgo is not all up on you touching you, don't be worried, because they are just trying to make sure that they don't make you uncomfortable, that they don't come off like a creep or a weirdo. They always want to make sure that you're feeling okay. You know, someone with Virgo energy might wait hours and hours and hours, and then they like touch your hand real softly, or like touch your lower back really quick and try to gauge your reaction. They're not like a fire sign energy person that's like, I'm going for it, I'm not afraid, like let's see where this takes us. No, they're not going to be super touchy when they're first flirting with you, because they are really trying to respect you. Eventually, physical touch will be important though, and I think that also goes into acts of service, you know, giving a massage, a foot rub, a head rub, anything like that. And although they kind of like their personal space with most people, they can be quite cuddly, and yeah, they'll definitely want to touch you if that will relax you for the day. If your feet have hurt because you work on your feet, a foot rub and knowing that they've helped you relax and helped complete your stressful day, that's gonna be great for them. So physical touch and acts of service can really go hand in hand. Virgo placement people also, when it comes to being lovers, are very giving, and they want to do acts of service for you, if you know what I mean. And they might not need anything in return. They're like, oh no, I'm doing this because I like it. I don't need you to do anything back to me. So that's an interesting little tidbit. And I would always say that Virgos are a quality over quantity person. And when it comes to clothes, when it comes to friends, when it comes to food, when they spend, they're actually, I find, quite frugal. It doesn't mean they're cheap, because they don't like cheap things, but they're not just spendy just to spend. They like quality, and they'll spend on quality, and they'll spoil their partners, but on themselves, they're quite frugal because, you know, they want to be financially stable. They don't want to have to stress about things more than they already do. They're very self-critical when it comes to flirting and dating. So if they're not one of those signs that's going to come onto you so strong and so obviously. Again, they want to be respectful, and also they might just be second guessing themselves and really nervous and unsure if you like them back, and feeling like, oh, that's stupid. No, I can't say that. I can't do that. They're actually way more self-critical than you think, but just give them a chance. Give them a chance to warm up, maybe show them you like them, and it'll bring them out of their shell a little bit. They can even come across as quite shy. You know, they're not one to make lewd comments at you or be super vulgar. They're always going to be gauging your reaction and being very measured. But really, Venus in Virgo aims to please. They really do. They want to please their partner. So if you let them know what you need, they're going to try to pass that test with flying colors. They are going to be attracted to people who are quite steady, no drama people for the most part. If they're evolved, again, like I said, they can kind of be involved with those people that become projects, but traditionally, yeah, they don't need someone to be flashy. They don't need to have the most Instagram baddie looking person in the room. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about living up to some impossible appearance standards. They're known for having high standards, but again, I think they're just selective. They know their tastes. And I find it has to do kind of less with appearance. But they will notice things about your appearance. That's what's exciting about Venus and Virgos. They do notice little changes and little details. They're very detail oriented. So once they become comfortable with words of affirmation, they're gonna point out something you've done with your hair, your cool colored eyeliner. They will notice those little details that some other people might not at all. You don't need to be super flashy to get their attention. Often they are attracted to the shyer type, maybe the wallflower, maybe the person that's not screaming for other people's attention. The natural beauty doesn't mean you have to change your style or your personality. I'm just talking about energy. You really don't need to be like the Vegas showgirl to get their attention. Now, if you are a fiercely independent person who really does not like when others give them advice, unsolicited, you might have a little trouble being with a Venus in Virgo because they're going to want to give you unsolicited advice or even step into a situation. They're kind of fixers. So it's gonna be hard if you're venting to them, right? You might have to express, I'm just venting. I don't need you to give me solutions. I just need to, can I just like talk for like 10 minutes and just get this off my chest? Okay, because otherwise it's gonna be like, how can I help you? How can I fix this? Because that's how they show they care. But it can come across as like, let me step in and take over, or let me give you unsolicited advice that you didn't ask for because I know best. You can often project that onto them, and really they're just trying to make the situation better as soon as possible. But yeah, they need somebody when they're dating, they need somebody practical and dependable and timely, and they will be timely as well. It's just part of the being respectful thing that's really big for them. They're gonna like partners that are a bit more clean cut. I'm just saying, be a clean person, okay? Like, shower once a day, brush your teeth, don't have clothes with rips or stains unless the rips are, you know, intentional. They're not going to be interested in somebody who is unkind to waiters. They're gonna really be looking at stuff like that. They're always looking for someone who dresses appropriately. So appropriate for occasions, you know, not the sloppiest person in the room or not the person that comes the most casual. And people who have empathy as well, which is why I say when we get into talking about matches for Venus in Virgo, I think Pisces is a great match, Venus in Pisces or Pisces energy, because Pisces are so giving and so generous and so empathetic. They are so intuitive and they are so concerned with how others feel and how they make others feel and caring for other people that Virgo and Pisces actually have quite a bit in common. They're both that sort of humanitarian vibe, and Pisces are sensitive. They could not like, you know, some of the critiques that a Venus in Virgo would give them, but I think once they get used to each other's energy, it can be a really great match. Scorpio's gonna give Virgo that little bit of intensity, maybe pull some dark things out of them that they don't access on the daily, because it's there, they just don't access it. And then I think maybe Taurus could bring out some more of that sensual energy of Virgo. I think that would be a good combo as well. A lot of people wouldn't say Virgo and Leo, including me for the past 26 years, but listen, it's a really powerful combo. They both take pride in themselves. They're both sort of royalty vibes, and they want to build. And Leo will shower the Virgo energy person with the spotlight of just compliments and kindness that maybe the Virgo isn't used to. It's like, oh my God, nobody ever thanks me for everything that I do. And Leo's like, what are you talking, what? How? And then Virgo is just going to be like the willing, I don't want to say servant, that sounds bad, but the willing like helper to the Leo and really help them reach that potential. Because Leos, they've got the creativity down, but sometimes they don't always have the blueprint, or they need a little motivation, and Virgo's gonna be there for that. So I think that's kind of a cool, controversial combo. Oh, I will also say, Virgo energy people do not always have clean, tidy houses and rooms, okay? Not the case at all. I know a lot of messy Virgos. However, they like a clean space. They prefer a clean space. And with Venus in Virgo, I find that, and even me with heavy Virgo influence, it is very difficult for them to be romantic, focus on romance and sensuality and stuff when there's a mess. It's much better for them to be in a clean environment and they can really zone out, not be focusing on different things and anxious about different things. And then as far as romance, they're pretty, the cute thing about Virgo is they really want to be that storybook, what knight in shining armor vibe. So they might do everything that they've seen in movies and in books. They want to have that romantic bone, but they don't know if they do, and they're really self-critical. So they're like, well, in movies and books, they like chocolate covered strawberries and roses and bubble baths and rose petals on the bed and R&B music, so I'll do that. They just want to do it right and pass with flying colors. So if you're somebody who's not into that stuff and the Virgo is doing that, just know that they're really trying to get you, and maybe you can lead them in the right direction of like, when they do something that's attractive, you let them know. Virgo really is kind of like a try anything once sign. Not because they're like crazy, like kinky experimental, because they're like, well, I want to please you and I'll at least try it. And then if they don't like it, they will let you know. But they're just so sweet. They just really want to please, and they are so helpful and wonderful. And you can always depend on them. It is such a breath of fresh air to date dependable people, because man, that is not common. Media and stuff convinces us, TV shows convince us that love without a lot of drama is boring and it's not passionate, but man, that's the kind of stuff that's sustainable and keeps your mind healthy. So that's all I have to say on Venus and Virgo today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to follow me on Instagram to vote for the next Venus sign in this series. Love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Mwah! Bye guys.